And so when opportunities come my way that seem unique, like once in a lifetime, even if they're not going to be like commercially viable, but it seems creatively fulfilling or just interesting to do, then I'll just do it. If it feels good, I'm just going to do it because I I love being alive and I love having like that diversity of experience. And I feel like through all of these different things and staying open, I've gained so many skills and like interesting relationships and stuff.
Sure.
So I just try to stay open to whatever comes my way.
I love that.
Yeah.
I think that's a good lesson for people.
Yeah.
It's like um, you have to just kind of like be okay with leaving yourself open to new experience and pointing yourself in a direction, but not being so stuck in that direction that if an opportunity comes up that you can't veer off.
Well,
Yeah.
I think having an end goal is great and important, but the road to get there, you don't. It doesn't have to be as strict and rigid
Yeah.
as be water, be water.
Be the water.
Be the water. No, I fully agree. And that's something that I've had to earn because when I was younger, it was so rigid and I was operating from such a place of lack, like mentally and emotionally, where it's like, I need this thing to be happy and to be whole. Cause I always wanted music to be my career and I always wanted to be an artist. But because of the circumstances I grew up in, we were just like pretty poor and I felt very oppressed by the religion that I was raised in. I was also viewing it as like, it's going to save me, it's going to like take
Hmm.
me out of this and it's going to save me. And unfortunately, that never happened. I had to save myself.
Yeah.
Um, but I think letting go of that, like this needs to happen because if it doesn't, then I'm a failure or I don't have meaning, has allowed me to actually accept so much more meaning in so many different things. Like I did a horror short film last year that was like completely out of the blue, and it
Right.
was just like I got good guy vibes from the guy. I read the script, I gave him some notes, he was like super receptive to the notes, we had a FaceTime, I was like, yeah, you don't seem like a murderer, I'll come out and I'll do your short film. And it was hilarious because his mom was helping with like the makeup and stuff, she's like a really good
Nice.
makeup artist, and she was like, I'm glad my son's not a serial killer, but I will say, like, this is pretty impulsive. And I'm like, I got a good feeling about it. I'll be fine. Like, I don't do anything if I get a bad vibe or even like
Yeah.
a
Right.
Yeah.
icky vibe. I'm not dumb. But if it feels good, then it is good. And so I do it.
Yeah, you got to trust your instincts to some extent.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mhm.
you've got to like train your instincts
Totally.
to where
Yes.
you can hear them and listen to them and stuff. But I think that's always a good thing to kind of trust your instincts on stuff like that.
For sure. But yeah, you do have to train them. That's earned. Like
Yes,
you
Yeah.
have to have
yes.
a lot of experience and
Hmm.
have navigated a lot of difficult situations so that you can discern.
Yeah. You got to mess up.
Well, and just like you were saying, developing all those different skills from doing all those different things.
Yes, exactly.
I think that's super important. The more well-rounded you are. A lot of artists sometimes feel like they have to really really focus on just one aspect of the game
Mhm.
to make sure that they get it. And there's that old saying, what is it? Master of one thing, master of many, um,
Jack of all
jack of
trades,
all trades,
master of
master
none.
of none. But
Mhm.
that's not the whole phrase. I
No.
recently heard the rest of the phrase, and it's like jack of all trades, master of none. Um, better, it's like better to know many than to only know one, or something like
Mhm.
that.
Hmm.
Like, and it's so true that like if you tunnel vision, it's great for your focus,
Mhm.
but it's not so great for your ability to pivot if you need to, or.
Exactly. And I've really let go of the idea of needing to be the best at any particular thing. Instead, it's like I want I want to get as good as possible. Like I'm definitely very
Sure.
inspired by that for the things that I'm most motivated to do, but I've also realized through collaboration and stuff that it's like I'm not going to be a master at all the things that I want to do and like to do. And I'm also never going to get to the point where I want to laser focus in on one thing to the point where it's like irrefutably, Sarah is the best at this thing.
Right.
Because what I realized is I am incredibly good at a few things. And then there are a lot of things that I'm like decent at, you know? And that gives me everything I need. And if I need someone who is an insane, like bananas guitar player, I can find that person. And then we get to work together and they get to elevate my work. And I get to take the pressure off of myself of being like the best of the best guitar player. You know, if I need like a crazy soprano one, like whistle note harmony, and I know that that is not in my immediate range right now, instead of like working ad nauseum to try to like fight against that, it's like I can just bring in Cera and she can
Mm-hmm.
do the whistle note harmony that I hear but am unable to do. And I like that more, honestly.
Well,
I
you're
like having
you're
elements.
bringing in somebody that adds to your art, and you're also adding to theirs, and
Mhm.
and and you know, it's the rising tide thing.
Mhm.